Hey guys, it's Parker here, back with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, part 13. Yes, part 13. I'll actually be recording part 13 and 14 for this one recording session, so hopefully y'all understand. Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Shones for all this, didn't he? Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Shones again. The trouble is, we have no idea that it's Baker Street. How do you know that? It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world. Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We better try to find our way there before Sasasa gets any more excited and unpredictable. Hurrah! Awesome on a carriage! So we're to have a reunion already with the great detective Mr. Herlock Sholmes. But I wonder if I could just examine everything here. Like the snowman here. Hee hee, what a delightful snowman! I didn't realize English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. Looks a little creepy though. Oh, it's a scarf. Look, you need one if you're on this freezing cold all the time. Wish I had one. I'm afraid our budget's so frozen at the moment too. We certainly can't afford a scarf. Sure, the snowman here wouldn't miss his, but the person who made the snowman certainly would. Yes, I know you're right. Anyway, even if I borrowed it, it wouldn't do much to warm my neck, would it? It's covered in snow. They use vehicles like that to rush to crime scenes and cart away criminals. You're very well informed, aren't you? It's long been a dream of mine to ride one of those through the streets of London. Well, just pick up a stone and throw it to one of the windows then. But that would mean being arrested in order to ride it, wouldn't it? Still, if it's the only way, help me find a good stone! No, I wasn't serious. Oh my god. And like, sorry if my if I sound a little dead. I'm so tired right now, but I gotta record this. Yes, it's a very wide open space, isn't it? That's true. I can't see anywhere an attacker could have been hiding. Oi, what are you foreigners doing here? We just investigated conspiring at the Mustache Valley of Japan, are you? Conspiring? Come ready to destroy evidence, have ya? Get out of here before I give you the night and go on. Okay, you don't have to be like that. What a disappointing experience. I think perhaps you're being a little overcautious. We've done nothing wrong as far as no cause are concerned. Oh no, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Twice I found myself in handcuffs despite not knowing a thing about what was going on. Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's that wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to. It does you no favors at all. Ugh. Oh, look at the windows of the building there. Are you sure they're windows? Yes, but they're all filled in with bricks. Oh, you're right. I wonder why. Perhaps it's the empty property where nobody lives at the moment. There's smoke coming out from the chimneys though. Why are there no windows? Oh dear, everything still feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place. But like in the other places there's windows, but this one doesn't have any windows. Huh. Oh, a British bicycle, look! Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be ridden anymore. Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling. It seems bicycles have been extremely popular in London recently. There's even a movement to change women's dress to allow them to ride as well. The bicycle fad won't last. I don't see anyone want to ride something like that. Goodness, do you dislike bicycles? No, not at all. I mean, it's not that I dislike them exactly. It's just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. If you ever try walking on stilts and fall into a river, I know you'd agree with me. We'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around. Okay. It's a rather typical old brick building, as I'm sure it has long and interesting history. Well, time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. Okay, an airplane is just passing by, I guess. I think I explored everything here, so there's no windows here, but there was some windows over there, which is an interesting observation, I guess. Okay. I think we have done everything we can here. A new location has been added. Let's go.
Thank you very much.
It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day.
Thanks again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
So this sort of great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow. It's so messy. It is as described in the stories, Mr. Sato. Susato's dad? Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room. Oh, I suppose they must have been, yes. I've never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be. The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears in the fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism. Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, I suppose I can, yes. So, if you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please, don't mind me. She's obsessed. Well, looks like the detective friend isn't home at present. Excuse me, is anybody home? Oh, they have a visitor? Oh no. It's the squeaky voice again. Even though I'm like dying here. Okay. Hello! Is it a big new case of Mr. Sholmes? Hello. Wait, aren't you... Oh, how rude of me. I'll make some tea, of course. I'm sure it's the same girl. Mrs. Sato, did you see the girl was just here? Oh yes, isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case. The King of Bulgaria? King Wilhelm Gostreich, Sigismund von Ormstern, of course. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Herlock Sholmes for a moment. Look over there. The tea's brewed. I have a fresh and baked cake as well. It's you. I knew it. Susan recognizes her too. I never met a lawyer from this far east before. Poor you, having to get straight to work and you've only just arrived in London. Oh yes, it was challenging. Well, try this tea. It's a special blend, you know. Oh, thank you. Is tea supposed to look that color? Oh my, what a fragrant and mellow flavor. Hooray! It's a winner! I tried blending different leaves designed to elevate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here and have yet another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're here to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. How do you know all this shit? Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley, do you? Hurley? Mr. Sholmes to you, Hurley? Mr. Sholmes is a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain. But whoops, I switched the voices, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas. Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time yesterday after trial, only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all those things, do you think? And perhaps more to the point, why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suit? Oh, silly me, I haven't introduced myself, have I? Oh, curtsy in an imaginary dress! It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. I live here together with Hurley. Iris, what a lovely name. What? What's the matter? No, wait, this can't be. Did you say that your name is Wilson? What's the matter with Sasao-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden? It's Wilson that writes the narrative of Sherlock Holmes. Yes, that's right. And what are your names? Oh, I'm Ryusuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan. Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely, Susie and Runo. Got it. Susie and Runo? There's more to this girl that meets the eye. I have so many questions for her, I don't know where to start. Yes, and so do I. Alright, I guess they're talking to her. It was you that you ran into yesterday, wasn't it, at the Old Bailey? Yes, that's right, you're ever so helpful. Thank you so much. Oh, no, not at all. I'm so sorry, it couldn't have been more welcoming. Though at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. Like this? Thinking back now, you left with Mrs. Strahd and told, didn't you? Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade. Oh, Ginny? Yes, she's a professional pickpocket. So he found out. It was very naughty of her to pitch my invention like that. Are you referring to that child-distorting gun-like contraption? Exactly, so I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions. This girl's dangerous. Anyway, I brought Ginny back here after that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician. Sorry, your technician? Hurley, of course, silly. Hurley? Yes, Herlock. Herlock Sholmes, you live here together. I had no idea the great detective had to have such an interesting young daughter. Daughter? Not likely. What? I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I? Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes? Well, I expect you find out the lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. So the solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate. Your roommates? I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10 at least this year. Last this year. Well, what if her mother and father? Oh no, they're not around. Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is there. Wilson? Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Of course. Go ahead, Susie. I'm a very good friend of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and oh, you have a copy of Rance magazine. You know what? I just gave out a squeaky voice at this point. Like I'm just like too tired to do squeaky voices. Yes, I read every issue delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting! My stories are being read on the other side of the world. My stories? That's right. Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think? Goodness. Last night, you was telling me all about a new case you solved on a station traveling from a faraway land. So I was just in the middle of typing out the manuscript for the next issue before he came. So you are the author? Yes, I'll let you in on a secret if you like. I'm going to call the latest adventure The Speckled Band. The Speckled Band? That's certainly very familiar. Of course, I always change one or two details in stories, here and there. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble. Oh, that was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well, actually. Yes, and of course I know that snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but it's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think, don't you? So, do you mean to say, are the stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in Rance magazine? Fiction? All written by me? Yes, on my wonderful and very modern typewriter. But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson. Sounds getting more and more worked up. Ah, yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? She's a doctor. That's all true too. I'm a doctor of medicine. Why else would she say that she's a doctor? No, at 10 years old? At 10 years old. Well, that's quite incredible. Freaking genius over here. But Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman. I mean, it could be I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling. Oh. Well, sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow? I suppose it does, yes. Poor Susanna, she looks like her whole world was just falling apart. It's like meeting the author of a work that you really like and you just kind of disappointed. Like, I know that feeling. About before. Yes, what's on your mind, Runo? Do tell me. How did you know that I was a lawyer who just arrived in London, I mean? Yes. Oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all that? Oh, that's what you mean. Please tell us how you did it. Explain every detail. Of course, I'd be delighted, although there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin. What? Iris Wilson is proud to present her logic and reasoning spectacular. What? First of all, I knew already that you're a liar, Bruno, and there's like a bunch of papers on your pocket, so maybe she just looked at that. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber. But you already said we only just arrived in London. How'd you know that? I observed your passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket. Oh, so it's reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. And on top of that, you accepted a case against a particular prosecutor, telling me you're unaware of London's court affairs. The Reaper at the Bailey walked right into one, didn't I? And I noticed the red ink stamp at the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with a suspect, weren't you, earlier today? Ah. They use the stamps to keep a close eye on the comings and goings, you see. I didn't realize. And a red stamp is only for people visiting foreign inmates. So, that told me even though you had on yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilded, the two of you already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face, so I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe they must have accepted a new case. I see. But how could you know that the trial is tomorrow? Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling. Japanese man? Well, that must have been. I don't know why it's so funny to see a person cry, but okay. Mr. Natsume. Now, Ryuno has a fancy Japanese sword. And I think that your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that you both came from Japan yourselves, so I put 2 and 2 together to decide I must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there was only one conclusion those facts would lead me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. Wow. There's no amount of pieces says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley's always stabbing his nose with a knife, you know, he's silly. He's kind of weird. And that's all there is to us to it, really. Thank you for listening, Iris Wilson. That was one of my great deductions. Well, was the winner? Were my deductions correct? They were spot on. That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction. You even managed to certain something on Mr. Sholmes' delivery. Oh well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really good news. You could tell us about the case involving a Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris, please? So yesterday, Mr. Jones apprehended a Japanese man who was saying, yes, Hurley had just arrived back in London to see Volage, but the police are waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene. Ah, the great detective's popular man in scenes. Apparently one was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There are witnesses who have seen a short, shifty-looking stooped man running away from the scene. A short, shifty-looking stooped man. Mr. Natsume beyond any doubt. Soseki-san said that he didn't see anybody else on the street at all. But it seems there were witnesses after all. Hurley used his great detective powers to determine the man's address. It was a lodging room very nearby and went directly there with the police, and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking stooped man shivering in fear. Mr. Sean's great detective certainly hit the mark that time. Of course he did. He's a great detective. Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow's too soon for a trial, isn't it? Hurley sees that London's rife for crime. Oh. Scotland Yard is doing its best, but can't stay on top of it apparently. Oh dear, I hadn't realized the situation is so dire. That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases trying to get criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. That's terrible. I suppose it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system. I suppose it is, but in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Seki-san. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative. Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun. Do you happen to know where Mr. Jones is at the moment? As you guess, I'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well. Oh, well, I expect Hurley's still investigating the scene. The case involving Mr. Natsume, maybe? Yes, Mr. Natsume? Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings. If you leave now, I'll probably catch him there. Iris, do you know where those lodgings are? Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the crimes themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson while you're there? Yes, we know Inspector Gregson. Oh, goody. In that case, get Gregsy this for me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure it'll tell you what you want to know. What is this? A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems. Okay. It reads, tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem. Gosh, that'll make the inspector help us do it? Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try. Good luck then. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript to Speckled Band. And I'll be making more special buns and teas, so come back again soon. Ooh, you'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris. Well, Miss Snarhall is back to the scene of the crime. Alright, let's go. So, somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard, we headed back to the scene with Iris's curious son one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. To be continued, but I'm gonna continue now, even though I'm freaking lying over here. But yeah, let's go. Maybe I should have ate some food before recording, but oh well. It looks as though the police is still here, carrying on with their investigation. Perfect! So let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible. Yes, and let's see if he'll take a break from his chips to look at this silver tip Iris gave us for him. Alright. Here you go. A pink ass card. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment? I'm sorry, Sarah. Don't. I'm very busy, man. What's your business talking to a pair of foreign gadabots, that's for sure. We have these for you. A present from Miss Aristotle. What? For me? From her ladyship? Her ladyship? Give that here at once. Come on, hand it over. That's for me. Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? What's that coin exactly? It's a silver crown, obviously. It's a lot more than that. That's, well, it's an appearance fee. That's what it is. An appearance fee? Oh, I see you mean. That's right, for the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me every time. Yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly. Of course, her using my name without my say-so does make the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still. I'm sorry, Inspector. That must be difficult for you. Never you mind that. So, what do you want to know then? Sorry? Tell the gentleman about whatever he wants to know. Trust that might be a problem, he says? Well, obviously it's not a problem. Go on, fire away. What do you want to know? Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, we'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Ah, the little knife-wielding mustache Japanese fellow. He lives in the far right, hold, hovel. It's just over there, look. Oh, that one. On the first floor, that house on the corner where the rack up of bicycles propped up. That's nearby, indeed. If I remember rightly, the landlord is a Mr. John Garrideb. Right, well, if you see her again, you make sure to give her a ladyship my regards, you hear? I mean it, you tell her that Greg says his very best wishes. Don't worry, Inspector, we will. Goodbye for now, then, and long live her ladyship. Well, at least he told us what he wanted to know before he left. Yes, so then, shall we go and see what we can find in Mr. Natsume's lodgings? Definitely. Alright. May I help you? Yes, would this be the resident of Mr. John Garden? Indeed it would, sir. Who may I say is calling? My name is Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Soseki Natsume. I believe he takes lodgings here? We would very much like to ask him some questions about our client. One moment, please. I should convey the message to Mr. Garden. Did you see that, Mrs. Sato? That was a real-life English maid. I know, as I understand it, anyone understanding English society employs a number of household staff. But that was the first time I ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, the steak keeps getting better. It certainly feels like we're really right now, doesn't it? We need only to meet a butler and the experience will be complete. Well, I'm sure if I go that far, but I understand the sentiment. Thank you for waiting. Mr. Garden will see you now this way. Okay. Good day to you, John Garden, at your service. Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Mr. Naruhodo. He's a defense lawyer. Do excuse me for not getting up. Took a shot to the knee a few years back in the Battle of Marawan, don't you know? Earned a medal for my pains, but I had to withdraw for service. Handed over the reins to the up-and-comings. So he's a retired soldier. That's a hell of a job getting up and down stairs now. I can tell you don't get out much as you can imagine. Yes, it's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs. You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo. You think so? Yeah. Well, Mr. Garden, no doubt you're very courageous to earn yourself a medal. Oh, it's nothing. The medal's just a folderol, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so grudgingly displayed on the wall. Why don't you fetch it down, Joanne? Let these good people see it properly. Joanne, fetch it more! Dash it all, woman, be careful. Oh, dearie me, I do beg your pardon, sir. You jolly rare detective, just get off my hands. I shall be more careful, sir. So anyway, there you have it, living a quiet life now. Yes, I see. Now then, here I want to know about the chap lodging downstairs, is that right? Yes, you'd be very grateful you could answer some questions for us. Only two please, naturally, especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blighty. We unfortunately alliance to depart Japan recently, so I'm sure you're aware. Why are you stirring up the tea with your frickin' Why? With your pipe? Why? So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were. Oh, is it? Even has some famous detective poking around. Yes, this is Sherlock Holmes. Could have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. It's not really my cup of tea, all that detective business. Oh, but you have a copy of Rats magazine here, so... no, Anyway, the chap's investigating the foreign's room as we speak, so he's in Soseki-san's room. That's a bally of nuisance, so it is the whole neighbor's twitching his curtains now. I don't like all the fuss, it's jolly unsettling. About Mrs. Natsume and Mr. Gardner, please do tell us. Ah, yes, the Japanese chap. Only been lodging here for a week. Oh, just 1 week? So he moved in very recently then. I have 2 lodgers most of the time, one on the ground floor, one just below us. The first floor became lit a week ago, you see. They're been dark! Dash it all, Joanne, do be careful! Oh my goodness, I'm terribly sorry, sir. I feel like she's just doing it on purpose. If you want to know my opinion, I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I set eyes on him. Oh, why? He seemed to have a most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. The man is shady written across his sets of brow, if you ask me. I said to myself, Joanne, that man is trouble. Sooner or later he's going to do something untoward. Why are we making this May kind of sound like Mickey Mouse? I'm really wrong about anything. Oh, I'm Mickey. We all be kind of saying this when this says for sure. Was there something else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all? Yes, oh yes, indeed there was. And she's trying to tell us. Right. Had you noticed anything at all about your lodger, Mr. Natsume? Oh my word, yes, the man was shabbier than an all guard. Could you elaborate? Well, take the man's room. Obviously stuffed full of books it is, more than anyone could ever read. I remember so much process of time of day with another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. Because he can't talk to people. He just tries out the old bookshop every single day and comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. And the funny little man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed too. Hey, night reading is pretty fun, you know? Oh, I see. The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed around 9 each night. But I never known that Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning. Wow, that's such a mood. Could you clarify something, I wonder? What, pray? How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine? Oh! Like, is that really normal? Like, why would you know his freaking schedule? I understand that neither of the lodgers live on this floor of the house, is that correct? That's right, yes, they're both below us on the first floor on street level. Then, how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? The precise times that they come back in the evening, for example, even the times they go to bed. Ah! Good, great job, be more careful, woman! Oh my goodness, sir, I'm terribly sorry, sir! Something doesn't add up here. And whenever she doesn't want to do something or doesn't want to ask a question, she just like freaking overspills the tea. So suspicious. The incident 2 days ago. It seems that the incident took place around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out the window around that time? The window? Yeah, so you notice that the window over there looks out over Briar Road. The incident took place on pavement just on the far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby? 5 o'clock is start time to guard the household, so I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. What about you, Japan? No, sir, it would have been dusk outside already at that hour. And with the fog as well, I would think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road. Oh, I see. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary then? Such as... anything at all, even if it seems unrelated. Well... yes, was just something then? Well, there's something surprising to it around us. For the love of God, Joe, watch what you're doing! Oh dear me, what have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir. Do be more careful, woman. Of course, sir. If I may, Mr. Narrow Hollow. Narrow Hollow. Oh, yes. I have an exceedingly good memory, and as far as I remember, Nothing of any significance took place here at the hour, nothing at all. Oh really? You guys are both sus right now. The way you're talking about it sounded rather like there might have been. Oh wow, this is just begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened. Yes, quite. Nothing happened. We all sat down to a quiet, uneventful meal. Joanne. That's right, Mr. Darden. What's the matter with these two? Is there something happening here in this room and even an instant about what? I wish I knew. Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsume's room is on? Why, certainly. Just below us on the first floor. And Mr. Schultz is investigating there even as we speak? Yes. Matt told me Nat's his name. I still to look at the matter, so I gave him the key. Mr. Natsume is engaged in Mr. Schultz's service? That's a blatant lie. Would it be alright if he was to go, had a look around in Mr. Natsume's room, I mean? Don't see why not. It's just down one flight of stairs. Who knows if we find anything that could help us with the case, but we have to try. We need all the clues to get our hands on, shall we? Yes, and while we're there, we can speak to Mr. Schultz again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more. What could be behind it, I wonder? I'm going to have a very quick look, just a little peek. Ahem! Ahem! Maybe let's not, Mrs. Sato. I think the maid's going to head us up with a cup of tea. Ahem! Ahem! What are they hiding behind the freaking curtain? Why is there a freaking cannon over here? A full-size cannon, what's it doing in here? Oh my, it's real! That old thing, but it's no more than a toy. Sorry? The army is snowing off when I retire, so I decided to give it a new home. Never know when anyone might attack next. Jaw used to with a cannon about the house. Really? It isn't overkill? You prefer, I always say. You never know what this sister is going to throw at you next, boy. Do you think there may be trouble brewing, Mr. Gardo? Always is. Take Joanne here. Never fails to have a clean apron on reserve. Tries them over the barrel, you see. They dry very well in the cannon there, Joanne tells me, which rather proves my point, I feel. It's been reduced to a drying rag. No wonder the huge cannon looks like it's hanging his head in shame. Look at this crockery on display here. It's rather unusual, isn't it? Oh my, genuine London dresser. Isn't it delightful? Why is everything all cracked over there? Although the show seems broken, the crockery is, oh dear, it's in pieces. It really is. The word cracked wouldn't do that chinaware justice. Ah, I wonder. Perhaps the cannon was fired at it. Yes, probably something like that, but let's not dwell too deeply here. Why is everything all broken here? Was there a fight or something? Oh, look! What a wonderful collection of cakes lined up on the gleaming silver cake stand. Lined up? Looks like someone else has half demolished them to me. Afternoon tea is time of indulgence, you know, it's quite the English way. It is Mr. Gardo's custom to take 2 cakes in his tea. That sounds so unhealthy. That sounds delightful. Oh, wait a minute though. There are at least 10 cakes on this cake stand. Oh, well, naturally, it would never do to waste the leftovers. So whatever Mr. Gardo doesn't eat, I say to myself, Joanne, you shall have the titty up. How magnanimous of you. Oh boy. Guess I'll check out the windows. This window looks like over the Briar world where the young woman was attacked. Oh yes, I can make out the policeman on the far side of the road investigating the crime scene. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my god, my voice is like dying. The tea will freeze in the pot. No wonder we go opening windows to dust in the middle of winter, I assure you. It seems very unlikely that these two would have seen anything in an instant then. Okay, I think I explored. Oh, what about this one? This whole candle holder looks a little out of place here, wouldn't you say? Yes, you're right. It's clearly supposed to be gold, but it's completely black for some reason. That whole thing, yes. Just a cheap piece of ironmongery. Game crack, really. Oh. Use it while studying, don't you know, for my commission. I know it's old. Hardly worth hanging on to really, but well, still has to use it sometimes. Does everything in this room have some elaborate story behind it? They're memories that are missing Naruhodo. Memories. Okay, I think I have explored everything here. Why don't we go to Mr. Natsume's room?